From the Macon Centerplex in Central Georgia, it's the first of two semifinal boys matchups in the AA classification. It's the Laney Wildcats and the Jordan Red Jackets. And hello again, everybody. Thanks for joining us here on the GHSA Network. Alongside Justin Hanover, I'm Chris Mooningham. Laney Wildcats coming to this one at 26-4 overall, ranked number 3 in the state. They've won 9 consecutive ball games. They're no stranger to the Final Four. And no, they're not. They're a senior-laden squad. 6'6" and senior center Shaquille Cook, Chris, is who we're going to look at. 14.5 points a game, 4 blocks, 23 points in that last game. The possible favorite to win it all here. 3 Final Fours in their history, including the last 2 years. On the other side, the Red Jackets of Jordan come in at 27-3 overall. They have lost only the 3 ball games. All of those losses came to 2 of the top teams inside the state. Last year they lost to the defending state champions in the Sweet 16. This a year that they feel like they're on a mission. And some good pedigree here from Jordan. As you said, 11 Final Fours in their history. They won the title back in 2007. They press a lot, they run, they play a frantic style, and they're going to have to match up with Shaquille Cook. They're going to look to Marcus Powell and Brandon Simmons to do some dirty work down low. And remember, they come into this thing winning on a last-second shot, literally. Jerry Blanton against Dawson County with a second to go for the 48-47 win in the quarters. We're about ready to get things underway here. Laney and Jordan, the winner of this one, will face either Vidalia or Manchester for the state championship. Right now, you can see the introductions of both teams here at the Centerplex. Jordan, as I mentioned, comes in at 27-3. They finished 10-0 inside the region. Lost to Manchester, of all teams, in the region championship game. They're outscoring their opponents 71-55 so far this year. The Red Jackets, with a little bit of history, won the state championship back in 2007. That their only state championship, at least in the modern era. Laney, on the other hand, mentioned their 26-4 record, 8-0 inside the region, outscoring their opponents 58-45. Won 9 straight ball games, started 2-2. This could be a fast-paced affair. It can, and interesting, Jerry Hunter, the head coach of Laney, talking about why his team was as good as they are this year, and he said that the guys that are now seniors were young guys. They were beaten up by their all-state players in Rod Hall and Coco Brown last year, and that's really molded this team into what they are today. This a team on a mission, talking about Laney. From day one of conditioning, the goal was Macon. They've endured a season of adversity and doubt, is what their head coach Jerry Hunter tells us. And in a second-round matchup in the playoffs this year, they really showed their mettle, he said, as they out-rebounded Coosa 50-21. You saw the starters a moment ago, the starting graphic. We'll give them to you one more time. Laney, led by Shaquille Cook, Raheem Newton, Jamie West, Curtis Hightower, and Glenn Rodriguez. They call him Raven. Jordan, on the other hand, Jeff Blanton, the man who hit the game-winning shot versus Dawson, Jamar Shepard, Tony Palmer, Brandon Simmons, and Marcus Powell. First boys semifinal, AA classification, Jordan and Laney. And energy in the building, and we're underway. Here's Newton. Raheem all the way across. Gives it to Hightower. Curtis back to Raheem. Now the dump down attempt. Cook, with a guy on his back, scores. Shaquille Cook. As you mentioned, Justin, 15 points, 9 boards, 4 blocks per ball game. That's a big key right there. Jordan cannot let Cook get off down low and control the paint. They must body up on him. Shaquille, a 6'6" senior. Jamar Shepard. 12 points, 15 rebounds out of that young man with the mini pro. Blanton. At the top, Tony Palmer, a man who can knock down some threes. He hit 4 3-pointers versus Dawson in that that quarterfinal win. Wide open. Goes. It's Jamie West, who averages 16 points and 4 assists per ball game. The senior gives his team a 5-point lead. Excuse me, Chris, breakdown of the defense there. West way too wide open. He's going to hit that a lot of the time with his stroke. Here's the press. This is going to be intense basketball here this afternoon, folks. Don't go anywhere. Hope you've already made your sandwich and your drink. Cook. Beautiful pass. Great pass by Newton, Justin.
When you have a 6'6" guy running the court the way Shaquille Cook just did, the other side's in a lot of trouble.
A lot of energy coming out of Laney. The crowd behind us, I hope you can hear them. Boy, they are really pushing the roof on this old building. Again, this is a team on a mission. Anything less than a state championship this year for the Laney Wildcats is unacceptable.
Last few years, obviously, as we said, in the Final Four, not able to get the Holy Grail, but they're looking towards it this season.
Jamie West driving right to the bucket. He's fouled. He'll go to the line. 7-0. Wildcats lead early. By the way, a scoring update here on the GHSA network. There will be a new state champion in the girls' ranks of the 5A classification. McEachern has just knocked out Norcross in the state semifinals. That a 3-point ball game up in Gwinnett. West knocks down the first free throw. Second, no good. Tapped up, off glass, loose ball, stays with Laney.
Great hustle there by Raven Rodriguez. Absolute phenomenal play just to be able to get up on the offensive board and maybe not corral it in, but being able to keep it alive, and it turned into their ball.
Lynn sometimes a sixth man for them. That shot was altered. It goes, no, not out of bounds. Oh boy, lost it on the way up. West finishes. Oh, I spoke too soon. Jordan pushes. Got a one-on-one. Beautiful adjustment in midair. That was Tony Palmer with the defender coming down on him. He adjusted his hands, adjusted the ball, went from right to left and finished. Saying that one was last touched by Shaquille Cook.
And the Red Jackets are going to want to push this pace. They're going to want to run. They're going to want to play pressure D. It's almost a 40 minutes of hell type, Nolan Richardson, right. Arkansas Razorback type deal here with this team. Constant
defensive press for Gerald Turner in his 25th year. By the way, our officials tonight, Charles Dunn, Dwayne Gribble, and Gene Sherry. Good job by Hanover getting the names. As I was running over to the scorers table to get the starters. That's teamwork right there.
It is. We don't have the real Final Four of only 2 games. We double that.
Right. 12 games in 3 days here in Macon. Drive, stop and pop and hit. Jamar Shepard, the junior, at 6 foot.
Very nice stroke right there. Just knocked it down from about 15 feet out. And a 4-0 run now for Jordan. They stem that tide of the 8-0 run.
Loose ball. Taken away by Jordan, and then tapped out of bounds.
Jeff Bland on the defensive end there made the game-winning shot in that last round. A great play against Shaquille Cook down low, as Cook kept the ball a little bit too low, and he let him come down with it.
I think he may have made that shot a little harder than it had to be. Marcus Powell.
Good interior pass, though, by Shepard. We saw his arsenal early on here. The jumper before, the interior little dump off there. Marcus Powell now in the lane, gets the foul, and it could be a 2-point ball game all of a sudden.
Yeah, Laney really jumped out hot here. It's that little 5-1 run, I believe. Is that right? Wasn't it 7-0 Laney?
8-0 Laney, so 5-0 run.
Okay. 6-0 run. Back to a 2-point game. Marcus Powell drains 2 free throws. The 6'5" senior center had 17 points versus Kusa in the second round. Great pass. And Cook finishes. Shaquille Cook been the leading scorer here for both teams early.
You know Jordan's going to bring that pressure. You don't have a full week necessarily to prepare. So how are they going to try and break that pressure? And they did a perfect job right there.
Powell. Off to Palmer. Hits. Tony Palmer, their 3-point specialist. The junior with an absolutely gorgeous stroke and a pickpocket. Palmer left it short. And he'll also get tagged for a foul.
I'll tell you though, Palmer had his shirt tugged a little bit there. You can get away with that sometimes in soccer, but on the basketball court, it's tough to really not call a foul on that. Good job by Palmer, though, not to necessarily go after the official. I mean, his shirt was tugged. He could have come up with a sour-type face, which we see a lot in the NBA, but good composure to keep his composure.
Well, 15 years ago, Palmer would have been absolutely mugged driving to the rack.
By Bill Laimbeer.
Yeah. Cook. Boy, oh boy. One thing is they're letting them play. Not many fouls called. They're letting them play, especially underneath. That's the third bucket that Cook has made where he's had a defender literally on top of him.
And Cook with 8 early on after that drop step.
And Shaquille comes out for the block defensively here. We mentioned it, 4 blocks on average per ball game for Shaquille Cook. 3:53, 3-point game, first quarter. Finally got it inbound. Cyrus Smith trapped on the baseline. Zay Smith up top to Palmer. Now the workaround. Powell thought about the jumper, instead puts it on the ground and jumps in with a right-hander that does not go. Ball still in the air. 2 and 3 guys have a chance at it. Driving down the baseline, and a charge is called.
Some banging down low, physical play early on.
Second foul on Blanton now. Let's make sure we pay attention to that at 3.5 minutes, first quarter. Third foul overall for Jordan, but the second foul on Blanton. Shaquille Cook on the slam.
Shaquille Cook's a great player, but you've got to D up a little bit better than that. If you have to double on him a little bit, you've got to rotate over, and you can't leave him just one-on-one and give him the position that Shaquille Cook is getting.
Now the push. A man ahead. Gets the defender in the air. Great patience, and then finish for Jamie West. Look at this circus shot. Cook had the rebound. Jump ball coming up.
And Laney with the 16-9 lead here, Chris. Only 2 guys thus far have scored for the Wildcats. Shaquille Cook's got 10, and we have Jamie West with 6.
Wow. Not this time. Cook had it again and lost it, but Laney will retain possession. Newton pushes, tries to get it off to Shaquille, but really Shaquille had not gained his position yet. Jamar has it swatted away. Timeout called. Timeout, Jerry Hunter and the Laney Wildcats.
So it's a game of runs. 8-0 Laney jumped out on top, and then all of a sudden it was 8-7 or 8-6, I believe. Now you look at the score, it's 16-9 in favor of Laney as they establish themselves once again, and they go on a 7 or 8-1 type of a run.
Pretty much expected.
Yeah. So far early on, Laney's been the better team. You see Shaquille Cook, he's who we spoke about in the open. He's the most dominant player on this court. The question is, how is Jordan going to react? Are they going to double him? Are they going to be able to single him? What are they going to do? And it has not worked as Cook's been able to establish position down low, and that's been the end-all with the drop steps and the little shots in the paint.
Kind of plays into my next question. Really, the key to me seems on the defensive side of the court for Jordan as far as winning this game. They can find a multitude of ways to score, to get back in it, to take a lead, to eventually win. But to me, it seems the difference is going to be on the defensive end of the basketball court for them.
Well, if you're going to play frantic style defense, that can open up one-on-one matchups. That's the problem almost in this type of a matchup against a big guy like Shaquille Cook, because you're running around the court.
Shepard with the jumper.
You're running around the court playing man defense. That opens the court up. It creates little cracks, and it makes one-on-one for the other team. So that's been the problem thus far, and that's why Cook's been feasting on it.
Daniel Harris with it now, driving, throws up a wild shot as he loses his balance. Got a battle underneath. Shaquille's got it in a tree full of players. Ball won't fall 2, 3, and 4 times. Finally, it goes.
That was just pure hustle by Cook there. Nothing wrong with the defense at all in that possession.
Just out-jumped everybody, didn't he?
Sometimes you're just too good.
Right.
You can critique all you want, but sometimes you're just too quick, too fast, too good.
He's 6'6", and he's a leaper. Zay Smith really being checked here. Look at this battle between Zay and Raheem Newton. And now a charge. Look at the eruption over on the Laney sideline, by the way. Jerry Hunter, don't oftentimes see a head coach really firing up his squad in high school basketball, but he was pumping his fists and stomping down the court.
And some emotion there by Raheem Newton. He really wanted a 5-second call out here, and he spoke to the official about why wasn't that called. He was playing some real man-in-your-face defense, and he thought he deserved the call. He didn't get it, though, for the turnover nonetheless.
Well, he's rewarded from his coach. Gets him out of the game and lets him get a breather. Oh, behind the back, a beautiful move. The shot doesn't fall, but Shaquille Cook there to clean it up. 3 ball. Palmer can't get the roll. Or that was Blanton, pardon me. Goes out of bounds, and Laney's got the basketball back. Or was it even out of bounds? Justin, did I miss it?
We'll see what they call when they come back on that. I think they're calling a foul. We'll figure that out when we come back from the break there. But Shaquille Cook early on, 14 points.
Wow.
A ton of rebounds. Jamie West with the 6. Still, only 2 players have scored for the Wildcats. You don't see that very often. You get to 20. Maybe the Jordan Pippen days you saw it sometimes. But.
Yeah. Well, they've got scores, too. That's the other funny thing. Glenn Rodriguez, a lot of times their 6th man off the bench. They call him their 3rd guard, who averages 9 points per ball game. West does average 16. Cook does average 15. But even Raheem Newton averages 10 points per ball game. But for the most part, they're carried by 4 scorers, really.
Right. It's not like they're not balanced yet so far. I mean, they've been fine. They'll take this. They'll keep it to 2 scores if they can continue to score. They're getting on the offensive glass. They're moving the ball. So everything's working out. It just so happens that they only have 2 guys that have scored.
They're really, really winning the glass, aren't they?
Yes.
A steal, a push, a switch of hands, and score. It's Zay Smith, the junior, 5'8", a guard.
Came down 2-on-1 in that time. Most effective play, sort of fake the pass and take it yourself, and that's basically what happened there.
West the give off to Rodriguez, who drives right to the hole and can't get the shot to fall. Wonder if he's a little bit out of control there. 3. Not this time, off back iron. Rebound pulled away by Jordan. Here's Blanton. Steps back. He wanted that 3, didn't he?
You could see it in his eyes. He did.
Yep. Demetrius Daniel to the rack now. He's in the ball game, and he's sent away with a rejection. Is that Cook on the swat?
Yes, it was. Both sides of the floor, just an absolutely dominant first quarters. We're in the waning seconds here.
West slows it down. Jamie tries to take his man. He's got Daniel. Now drives, and he's sent away.
Brandon Simmons showing a little bit of his muscle there.
3 seconds. Got time to catch. If you're out on the perimeter, make one move and then put it up. I always like the quick shot, though. That way you got a chance at a rebound, which they do!
Like
Shaquille Cook comes flying from the rafters.
That epitomizes the first quarter here. Shaquille Cook, 16 of the 22 points.
And his team leads 22-13 at the first quarter break. What a first quarter start between Laney and Jordan on the GHSA network. Back at the Centerplex after an exciting first quarter of action between two teams that love to press defensively and run and gun up and down the court offensively. A 9-point game, Laney out in front.
And we all knew Shaquille Cook was a special player. We know he scores 15 a game. He's already surpassed that in 8 minutes of action.
This place still absolutely buzzing over that final play of the first quarter. Turned into a little bit of a profit there, didn't I?
You did. You wanted the shot for the offensive rebounding. You certainly did get just that. Quit while you're ahead.
Yes, I will. Indeed, I will. Blanton, Palmer, Tony, gonna try to take his man, backs up, now back over to Jeff Blanton. Now Demetrius Daniel. Daniel with West on him. Now back to the top, he's got it back, he'll drive baseline. Got 2 and 3 guys coming over to defend him. And after the missed shot, Brandon Simmons there for the putback.
Cook's presence down low, though. I think he swatted another one right there. He's a tough matchup down low for any offense.
At the very least, he altered the shot. He's got another chance.
I think they're going to get Brandon Simmons, I believe, on that one.
Boy, I got to tell you, though, Simmons was the inside man. Cook was the outside man. 9 times out of 10, that's an over the back.
But Cook's quickness and athleticism did win him that ball first. He was there. He had the body control to get the ball and almost pull it back to him.
Was he on him, though?
I don't think so.
Space?
I think that was a good call.
All right. Good enough for you, good enough for me. 7-point game.
And you see 5 team fouls already for Jordan here.
Yeah. Nearly the entirety of this second quarter to play. West with a tip up. No good, and the rebound pulled away by Simmons. They got a whistle. This going against West.
You talk about ferocious defense. As of right now, it's the Wildcats that have been the more assertive defensive squad going after it. And you see they're going to the full court press right here.
Well, they both play a similar style of defense. I think the biggest thing, though, to me is that Jordan, they just, they do it a whole lot more. You mentioned it, in this case, the 32 minutes of hell.
Yeah.
The Nolan Richardson style.
Smith took his eyes off of that one. You could see he looked away, he was looking to go to the hoop, and the ball just went past him. Still only a 7-point game. I'll tell you, this game has the feel of Laney almost running away with it early on.
But Jordan, just that good that they're able to hang around in it. They do that a lot. Finally, they're able to get the dump down inside, and the lefty shot goes for Daquan Taylor, a senior at 6'2".
And how are they going to respond here? Cook's on the bench. We'll see how long of a blow that he gets.
Jordan gives up as many points as Laney scores per ball game. If Jordan averages 16, 13 more points per ball game, you see the discrepancy. Laney more of a shutdown defensive squad. Jordan more the team that scores more points, not necessarily because they're more gifted offensively, but moreover because of the pace of the basketball game.
Curtis Hightower on that foul. Got his money's worth on the hack.
And Powell goes to the line. Marcus still sitting on 2 points. Norris Stevens with 4. Tony Palmer with 5. Zay Smith has scratched the scorecard for 2 points. And then 2 for Simmons. 3rd point now for Powell. That's your scoring for Jordan in this one. Not a bad move. Well, just left it short.
Raven Rodriguez has had a couple of big-time moves. Hasn't been able to get on that scoreboard yet, though.
Oh, boy.
And that's what that press can do.
Yep.
You may give up a couple of 2-on-1s, but you also are going to cause some turnovers.
Boy, and that's Jordan's game. You know, this very reminiscent of what we saw early in our first game today between Laney and Lovett. Laney was the running squad, but Lovett had so much success in our first girls semifinal of running up and down the court. Both of these teams like to run, but really it's Jordan's game even more than it is Laney's. Wildcats winning this battle early. So, boy, Newton tried to take Powell one-on-one.
Said, no, sir.
Nope.
We'll go right back to where you came from, my friend.
Cook back into the ball game, by the way. That break didn't last long. Raheem, jumper. No good, offside arm. And Powell comes flying in for the rebound.
Say Cook had about a minute and a half below there.
Jamar hits. Well, Jamar Shepard does not have a bad stroke.
6 for him now.
He's taking smart shots as well.
High percentage shots, and it's a 6-point ball game. Again, it feels like this is a double-digit lead. And they just doubled. You see how they doubled over there on Cook. They brought over Blanton to help out on that defense. So it looks like they're recognizing, which I think everybody in the building knows, that Shaquille Cook is dominant and you can't just single him up.
West driving to the rack, and he had that one stripped right out of his hands by Simmons.
Jamie West certainly not afraid to go to the hole. He's a warrior down there.
I like the idea also if they are purposefully trying to get one of the smaller guards down on Cook in the double team. Try to swipe that ball away from him when he's got it down low. This time he successfully gets to the board, cannot score, but will get to the line.
Good pass by Daniel Harris. Drove the lane, made the defense come over and collapse to him, and that opened up Cook. First free throw made for Cook is, remember, he missed a couple earlier on.
Boy, oh boy.
17 now in the game.
Justin, I'm going to put in a recommendation for you to get paid a little extra for this trip down to Macon. Not just doing color analysis,
right.
Yeah, statistician.
I'm very good with those numbers. 2 + 1 normally equals 3, and I could do that a lot of the time.
You're the only one having success with the numbers, addition and subtraction today. 17 points for Cook. But his first of the second quarter, correct?
Yes, sir. 16 in that opening quarter. 15 remembers his average. He's a great player, scoring his 15 a game. We're looking at a special performance possibly in the works here.
Yeah, that's not a good sign, is it?
No,
if you're a Red Jacket.
There are some adjustments being made, though. You see that. They're not necessarily pressuring as much because I think they need to sag a little bit on Cook.
Well, you just saw it, what you were talking about a second ago, West driving to the rack. The only problem is that quite often when he's gone to the rack, he's gotten a little bit out of control. He lost that one as he was going to the bucket. It fell into play, and as a couple of people dove towards it, we end up going back the other way.
He's going to the rack aggressively, but he almost goes tunnel vision where it's him just going to the hole. He's got to look up because the defense will collapse on him. He's quick, and somebody should be open a lot of the time.
Well, now he can make up for it because now would be the perfect time to do it. Because you know Jordan is going to be used to seeing him, the defense, going to be so used to seeing him drive to the rack. If he started dishing the ball off now, Shepard can't get that one to roll in. Rebound pulled away by Daquan Taylor. Newton surveys the court. Here's West. Let's see. Let's watch it. Walked.
It almost looks like a little box-and-one type action, with the one obviously being on Cook. An interesting defense there because they were in a zone, but yet it looked like they were manning up on Cook.
Well, let's watch for it next time down. It'll be interesting to see what would be the thought process on going to a box-and-one. Oh boy. Shepard, you know, he would have had a better opportunity taking that one himself.
Yeah.
Let's watch it now. West with possession. Now to Coleman.
They're in a zone.
Yep.
They're in a zone, but they're keeping Cook manned up. It looks like they're keeping Marcus Powell on him, on his hip, but they're zoning out with everybody else.
Well, they think Marcus can handle him one-on-one, and then if Marcus does handle him and perhaps trap him.
Well, they're not really keeping it one-on-one, I don't think. I think they're going to help out when Cook gets the ball. But when he doesn't have the ball, they've got to keep Laney honest because Laney's too good.
So they wait in the zone, and then if they come over with a double team, Cook decides to get rid of it. Someone else tries to shift over in the zone.
That's what I think we're looking at here.
Well, we got a long time to try to analyze it. At 2:07, second quarter, 7-point game. The Red Jacket deficit is 7.
And Gerald Turner's got his work cut out for him. He knows what he's up against with Cook. You saw in that first quarter, all over the glass, scoring, aggressive, instant energy. He's got to keep switching this up.
He's got plenty of experience. That's a gentleman who's been around 25 years. Won a state championship in 07, as I mentioned earlier. Back iron on the second free throw. Cook with another rebound. Lead at 6. Harris. Daniel. Over to Newton. Raheem. Back out to West. This is Jamie now. Had Rodriguez pulling out for a second to try to help set up the screen. Now to Cook at the top.
Jordan will take Cook being out there any day.
Yeah, absolutely. Driving. Out of control. Going back the other way after the charge. And that going to be the 6th foul now. We're even in fouls.
Yeah, it's a good call. Daniel Harris was a little out of control. If he would have sort of gotten it off to Cook a step sooner, Cook had an opportunity in there to flush it home. But just a little bit too much out of control action there.
Having a lot more success. Well, I was going to say having a little more success breaking the zone. A couple extra passes. Nice. Oh, boy, that went in and out. Jordan comes out with a rebound, and now they push. It's a 2-on-2, however. Oh, boy. That's a lonely feeling. Cyrus Smith could not finish it.
Good move. He lost control a little bit down low. Great bounce pass to West, who finishes. Foul called underneath, stopping play at 42 seconds. Seventh foul now. That one going on Rodriguez. Credit the Red Jackets. They slowed Shaquille Cook down a little bit. You knew he wasn't going to keep up 16 points a quarter and score 64 in the game. But Jordan has made some adjustments, and then they haven't gotten much closer to the scoreboard down 8, but Cook slowed down at least.
Can't get the roll. Cyrus Smith. Cyrus is 6'2", junior, and listed as a power forward on the roster. This is the 11th Final Four appearance for Jordan. They won a state championship way back in 43 as well.
I don't remember that game.
GIAA, that's why. You weren't a big GIAA fan back then.
Not back in 43, maybe no. 44.
Right, well, that's, yeah.
42 seconds left. Jordan obviously has the frantic type pressure. Probably too much time to try and hold this thing.
Laney will certainly take the lead into half. Oh, look at that quick shot. Won't fall for West. Two guys come skying in there. And on the second opportunity, another jump ball. My most hated call in the history of sports, the jump ball.
The funny thing is, Cook thought he was going to get called for the over-the-top foul on that one. He moved his hands away, even though he really did have all ball. And when he heard the whistle, he sort of thought they were going to call him on the foul.
And alley-oop! Cook can't finish that one.
And now he does get called for the foul, and he didn't think he deserved to be called on that. I'm not sure if I don't agree with him.
That's the 8th foul on Laney. Second foul, pardon me. Second foul on Cook. They're going to get him right out of the ball game. No need to try and get, with 23 seconds left, no need to try and let him get a third foul is what I'm trying to say here.
I'm not really sure about that call, Chris. He's entitled to that ball in the air. It was an alley-oop pass to him. He's got that position. I'm going to have to agree with Mr. Cook.
One last chance for Jordan. This is Shepard. Can't get it. Ball loose. Mad scramble. Still loose. Got a chance at a last shot. Harris drives. And he's sent away with a rejection that will bring us to the end of the first half. Fast-paced, entertaining, high-level athleticism, first quarter action between Laney and Jordan. 27-19 at the half in the boys AA semifinal number 1 on the GHSA network. Back at the Macon Centerplex for the start of second half action. In the first of two boys semifinal matchups in this tournament at the AA classification. Alongside Justin Hanover, I'm Chris Mooneyham. Justin, an interesting first half. 27-19, Laney out in front. Your keys in the first half. What was the biggest thing that you think brought us to an 8-point ball game?
It's all about Shaquille Cook. I mean, we saw him go nuts in the first half on the boards, on the score sheet. 16 points, one more than his average he had in the first 8 minutes alone. And the guy's dominant. We said that in our open. It's a question of can he be stopped. He was not in the first quarter. I think they did a better job Jordan did in the second quarter, but it's still an 8-point advantage here at the half. Far
more athletic than I think a lot of people realize until you see him up close. He, as you said, had 17, the majority of his team's points, 8 for West as well, driving to the rack. We've seen good defense, but not necessarily a defensive dominance that we thought we might.
It hasn't been the frantic defense. It hasn't been the in-your-face 24/7 type of a deal. It's been sort of defender on the ball and everybody else sagging in the zone. I expect the tempo to get picked up a little bit. I think these teams are really going to, as this game winds down, really go after it because they're aggressive style teams. And I think we're really going to see these teams start to ratchet up the emotion here.
6 points for Shepard, for Jordan. 5 points for Palmer. 4 for Powell. Your leading scores for the Red Jackets.
And Powell all on free throws, interestingly enough.
Here's Shepard at the top. Work around to Palmer. Tony gives off to Zay Smith. He'll drive. Throw up a right-handed floater that's no good. And guess who's there for the rebound? It's Cook.
Just tough to penetrate on him. It's a little bit like Anthony Davis of Kentucky.
Sure.
How his presence alone just intimidates, and it's tough to get by him.
Newton being defended well by Palmer. Now they throw it in and the pass is intercepted. West there to pick up the loose ball and score.
Unlucky there. A good play by Marcus Powell. Really good job. Unlucky. He made the right play, tipped it away. Unfortunately for him, it went right to Jamie West.
Driving to the rack, no call. Holy smokes. How was Palmer not fouled? Somebody grabbed his arm in there and drug him backwards. Boy, oh boy. And when they did that, he came down awkwardly. I mean, literally, somebody grabbed him by his elbow as he was flying through the paint there. Yeah, came down awkwardly on his ankle.
He did come down on it. He's in a lot of pain right now.
Well, and you see that the gentleman in black there, that's Gerald Turner coming walking into your screen and him shaking his head and saying something at an official.
An aggressive move to the hoop, Chris. It was, but once again, you know who's down there, who's altering shots, making you go awkwardly, trying to get around him, and in that possession, he just went down.
Is it better to go right at him? Force him to block your shot or foul you. Maybe you can get Cook in foul trouble.
Knowing that he's got 2 fouls right now, if you can get that quick third on him,
right,
he's going to have to sit a few more minutes. So I think you're right, and it's a good point. Go at him. The problem is,
he's so good.
He's good with his body. He's got the body control that he'll get out of the way, and he's got 6-7 inches on you. He'll still swap the shot.
Well, Jordan's got possession back. Now down by 12. Don't look now. It's a 12-point game.
A little bit of that danger zone approaching now.
Yep. Nice vision. Good pass and good finish. That's Marcus Powell.
First bucket for Powell. He's got 6 in the game now.
Newton. Newton, a guy who touches a lot of the scorecard. Been held down relatively in this ball game, really, all things considered. He averages 10 points per ball game. He's got it here again. And he's had a lot of that action right there happen to him. 4 steals, 6 assists. Been pretty quiet, Justin.
Yeah, not been able to score as of yet. Ten-point ball game. It's about what it should be right now. Laney's been the better team.
Sent away by Powell. The push. And a foul. think they're going to hit West on that foul, and that one going to send Palmer, or excuse me, Smith, Zay Smith to the line.
Good job by Brandon Simmons there. Good defensive play.
Got to make free throws. Points for free with the clock not moving. When you're trying to rally against a very good team, you put yourself in a hole. You've got to make free throws. Last night, Turner County would be playing in the state championship game if they had done that versus Athens Christian.
Yep.
1 out of 2. Ball still loose. Championship hustle there. Jordan comes out with it. Oh, wait a minute. What's this call?
They're going to get Jamie West on that foul.
Oh, boy. 3 or 4 for him now. 3. 3 for West. He goes out.
Foul's playing a little bit of a factor here. West is 3. Cook is 2. Single digits once again.
The good fortune for Laney is the deeper we get in this ball game, you know, if Cook picks up that 3rd foul right now, you got to lift it.
I would think so, sure.
About 3 or 4 minutes if he gets that 3rd foul, you may not lift it.
Interesting. Zay Smith passed up a good look. He had a 3 there and he hesitated and he did not take it. Not an aggressive play right there.
31-22. Drive. Right-hander up and in. Great move, Daniel Harris.
Now that is an aggressive move. Harris took it himself in a great little move.
Shepard on baseline. Shot was altered by Cook again. And a foul on somebody underneath. Jerry Hunter hoping this call. Who'd they hit? Yep, Daniel Harris. Well, that's fortunate.
Breathe a sigh of relief on that sideline, no doubt.
Because Cook was right there as well. 3 ball, they need it. No good. Rebound pulled away, and a great job in midair of feeding the break. Oh my goodness. And
Raven Rodriguez with an unbelievable play. You call that. To get it off the glass, not even come down with it and volleyball it forward. Wow.
That shows such intelligence.
And it's almost great coaching because it's almost a set play.
Well, they really needed that. That helps. Zay Smith, he takes that 3 this time. You were talking about a moment ago. It gets him much needed 3 points, 35-25.
Yep, not afraid to pull the trigger on that one.
Streaking to the rack, and he was caught in midair.
That's the way to work without the ball, though. Curtis Hightower without the ball, getting behind the defender, and a good pass to him.
First foul on Cyrus Smith. Or pardon me, second foul on Cyrus Smith. First of the half. It's Curtis Hightower at the line now. Hightower, hadn't talked much about him in this one. Sophomore, 5'10".
Interesting move by Jerry Hunter here, not putting Cook underneath the hoop there, if you notice, on the free throws. And that second one was missed, and you know how he can wreak some havoc on the boards there. But he risk versus reward. Let's not pick up the 3rd foul versus potentially getting that rebound.
Oh, great point. Didn't even think of that. Great point. You're right. That's a great job of coaching. I was thinking about defensively. And the shot made there by Blanton. I thought that was your point. You send him out, and that way there's no fast breaks because he's back on the defensive end ready to fill the lane. But you're right.
That could be a part of it too, but I just think you're in that area right now where if you could survive this quarter without a foul and you go into the 4th with 2, you're in good shape. You can then go in more of an aggressive style. But as of right now, let's just take it easy with him.
Because that plays into the conversation we were having a moment ago. If you get him through this third quarter with 2 fouls, if he picks up his third early in the fourth quarter, he still stays in the game.
Exactly. And by the way, some good news, it looks like Tony Palmer jogging behind the court. Looks like he's going to be okay. We'll have to see if he checks back in.
Ball loose underneath. Laney comes out with it again. Boy, it just seems like most of the loose balls in this ball game have belonged to the men in gray.
They've been a step quicker throughout. Still only an 8-point game, though.
Cook gonna drive and score. Boy, if he gets that part of his game going, if they refine that when he gets to the next level, his ability to put the ball on the court and drive.
Tell you what, though, they're not that upset with that, though. You make Cook start with the ball out there, and that's okay.
Well, they cannot continue to turn the ball over. Jordan cannot continue to turn the ball over, or they will be run out of this building. There's an easy bucket.
I'll tell you what, Brandon Simmons with a great pick set there on Shaquille Cook. He just kept backing Cook in, which led to Marcus Powell being able to have the open lane to put it up and in. It's a good, smart play by Brandon Simmons.
You're starting to see the offense open up a little bit. What do you think?
You are a little bit, I believe. What was that, a 10-second call right there?
Yep.
That's an inexcusable turnover.
Absolutely.
Give the defense a little bit of credit, but that's more on the offense, not knowing what you have to do and get over that line.
Well, in his defense, nobody came to help him. You had literally one man on this side of the court, and all 4 were down inside the arc. Look at that. Great job of Marcus Powell taking Cook head on and spinning through to score. 8-point game.
And Powell now 10 in the game, 6 in the quarter, so he starts to light it up a little bit.
Timeout called. Jerry Hunter and the Laney Wildcats. And that, and checking the scoreboard, will leave them with 3.
I'm not sure what Cook was doing on that last play, if he fell or if he was actually trying to get the charge.
The last defensive play.
Yes.
I thought he lost his balance, but
I think so too, because he doesn't appear to be somebody that's going to really do the flop. I think he sort of was expecting more contact, and like you said, I think he sort of just lost the balance and fell backwards.
Yeah, I don't think he was flopping at all. I agree with you on that, because we've seen him go for blocks that he had no business going for in this ball game so far. That's just how commanding he's been, how athletic he's been, and how confident he has played in this one. He has been flying simply all around this historic arena.
And a well-balanced third quarter thus far here for Laney. Remember, the first quarter, they only had 2 guys score.
Yep.
Cook with the 16. Now, all of a sudden, they have 12 points in the quarter, but they've spread it around 5 different scorers. So we're seeing some of that depth finally come into play.
And that's what they usually do. That's how they win their ball games. And so far, as you mentioned, it's kept them in this one. And it felt more as though they were being dominated first quarter early on in the ball game. Now it feels like we're starting to even out, starting to come together just a little bit. 8-point game, 2:01 third quarter mark. The winner of this one faces either Vidalia or Manchester in the state championship game. Drive, tried for the dish, pass batted away.
Good hands, Marcus Powell, very aggressive. You see the bigs right now for the Red Jackets coming through. Early on, we said Shaq Cook had his way, but right now Brandon Simmons and Marcus Powell really have been bringing some positive energy, making plays on both sides of the court, and they're matching what Cook, was able to do and is able to do.
Palmer. Powell. Marcus looks like he wants to try to take on Cook. Instead, he'll give it off to Tony.
It's good to see Palmer back in.
Absolutely. Here's Zay. Zay Smith trying to work around a pick. Palmer to Powell. Powell was close to a walk. The floater right-hander is good. Marcus Powell is really heating up. Had 17 versus Kusa in a second-round matchup, and now he's having a lot of success versus Cook. And a turnover.
The defensive pressure, remember the 10-second violation before, now it forced them into the travel. It's a 6-point game, and the momentum, the pendulum shifting in the favor of Jordan right now.
Crowd really starting to wake up a lot too, Justin. Powell, he's feeling it, and he's got another one. Oh boy. Marcus Powell, let me do some quick math here. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 points.
10 in the quarter. And they're taking it right at Cook.
Yep.
There's no fear factor right now.
Floater no good. Cook there for the rebound opportunity. Tipped off his hands. It's still loose. And a jump ball. Now wait a minute. We've got an overrule here. We've got an overruling call.
They're going to call the timeout for Jordan,
Yep.
so they're going to give them possession after the initial ruling, like you said, was the jump ball. Wow.
That's a
4-point
huge
game
call.
and the ball right now.
That's a huge call, is it not?
It's a big call, no doubt.
Because the possession arrow was in favor of Laney. And now you switch possessions at 34.5 in the third quarter, and with all that momentum, instead of Jordan having to go back on defense with potentially the last shot belonging to Laney, now they've got the ball, the potential last shot.
Well, here's the thing, and you just mentioned it. It's huge if we only have one more possession, or if we have 3 possessions. But if we have 2 possessions and it's 1 and 1 apiece,
Sure.
it's not as big. But who knows? I mean, we're not going to play, soothsayer here.
And who scores too.
But if each team's going to get the 1 possession, it doesn't necessarily matter who gets the first possession. And you would figure 34.5 seconds should equate to a possession per team. We'll see how it plays out.
Well, it doesn't hurt them in the timeout category as well. Still got 4. Laney, by the way, Justin, only 2 timeouts the rest of the way. Just notice that.
Could play a factor.
Shepard, 20 seconds, Palmer.
Now, if they can milk this for everything, then it wound up being a great play.
And if they get 2 out of it, this place may erupt. The Jordan faithful over behind their bench, just ready to erupt at 5 seconds. Driving, Zay, right-handed floater up and in. No final shot. 39-37. A late run near the end of the third quarter for the Red Jackets of Jordan. And we've got ourselves a brand new contest to the final stanza on the GHSA Network. A late third quarter run has got the Jordan Red Jackets back to within 2 points in this semifinal matchup. The winner goes to the state championship game, and boy, I only hope you can hear the crowd behind us. Alongside Justin Hanover, I'm Chris Mooneyham. What an end to the third quarter.
An absolutely phenomenal ending for the Red Jackets there. And the best part about it is that they're going right at Shaq Cook. It doesn't matter, 2 fouls, 4 fouls, whatever. You can see the game plan right now is, hey, we're a very good team.
Yep.
Let's be aggressive. Let's go after this thing. And they just force another turnover.
You mentioned Cook, and if you're just tuning in, Shaquille Cook absolutely, I want to say, has dominated the majority of this ball game, but truly it was through the first half where he had 17 points. Only 2 points since. Jordan done a good job of collapsing in on him.
Now remember, he had 16 in the first quarter. So he only scored 1 in that second. So basically, Shaquille Cook's 3 points in the last half of basketball.
Wow.
So you talk about adjustments. Give Gerald Turner a lot of credit for what he's doing right here.
2-point game. Looks like we're headed for an exciting finish in the first of 2 boys semifinal matchups. Boy, this is just like last night. Our first day of action. 4 games yesterday, 4 games today, and 4 tomorrow on the GHSA Network. Look at that shot. Put back up and in. Zay Smith, the junior point guard, there for the follow shot. And we are tied at 39.
All the momentum in the world right now on Jordan's side. Amazing how they battled back here. They were down 12 midway through that third quarter.
Boy.
Jamie West's been quiet. Shaquille Cook's been quiet.
Great bucket. And a smart bucket at that, and they needed it. Lynn Rodriguez. They call him Raven.
Good
Foul.
defense.
Rejected by Cook. Jump ball. Still no call. Somebody with stripes needs to give me a signal.
I don't see how that can't be a jump ball.
Yep, there it is.
I don't see how it can't be.
And Jordan wins the alternating possession.
Good defensive play by Cook. He did get the block when the ball came down, though. He had it along with two players, basically, from Jordan. I was going to be shocked if they actually called a foul on that play.
It's got to be a Jordan timeout. Yep. 3 timeouts left now for the Red Jackets. 2 for Laney. That could be a situation as we move forward. We've got 6:20 left in at least regulation play. 4 fouls committed by Laney, only 1 committed for Jordan.
And that can come into play.
Sure.
Remember, you get to that line, you get those free points from the charity stripe. Every point counts. That's an advantage right now.
There's a phrase, Justin, I know you know Scott Janovitz, my usual broadcast partner. There's a phrase we love to use, that free throw shooting at the high school basketball level, a lot like special teams at the high school football level. It's all about fundamentals. It really, more times than not, is the difference in a ball game and in high school athletics.
It's not the pretty factor,
correct.
But it's the garbage factor that gets the job done in the end.
The one factor of sports that you have to do that's necessary in winning. And we've seen some teams so far here in Macon struggle with that. Worked around the perimeter as they've done all night. Here's Palmer.
Jeff Blanton here on the wing. Remember, he hit the big shot to win it in that last game. He's only got 2 points in this thing. You almost get the feeling maybe he's got another big one in him. As he directs traffic right here. Leadership role.
He's got some pink Argyle socks underneath his Nike Elite socks over there. You see that?
Good fashion statement.
Work around. C. Smith.
And there he is.
Blanton. Not this time. It goes over the backboard and out of play.
That's a good play, though. Jordan sort of lulled Laney to sleep. They ran Blanton around on the baseline, and he had a good look. You can't complain about that. You're going to knock him down 35% of the time or whatever, 40%.
Did it show confusion? It showed confusion to me for Laney defensively in the paint. Looked like you had 2 guys trying to...
They lulled them to sleep a little bit. They worked it around, and then they hit him with a quick hitter. It's like another football analogy. Run, 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 and boom, you go for the bomb.
Right.
The defense is going to sag in.
Absolutely. Shooting foul? Or was he on the floor? Yeah, they'll say he was on the floor. Rodriguez was driving there, and they'll say that somebody hacked him before he went to the rack. They're going to hit Demetrius Daniel on that foul. So 2 now for Jordan, 2 team fouls.
Senior-laden teams here. So both teams have the experience to know how to pull this game out.
West gave up the shot, instead passed it off, and it turns into a walk.
Good defense made that into a walk because they bodied up on him, which made him have to switch his shot.
We had 2 blowouts and 2 close games here last night, Justin. Both the boys' games exciting. Both the girls' games were runaways.
Following suit, it appears right here.
Yep. Palmer at the top. Throws it up. No good off back iron. Cook the rebound. Boy, he didn't just lull Laney to sleep. He lulled me to sleep.
That was a 3 for the lead. Let's remember that. 5 minutes to go. Could have given them the lead.
Oh, boy. Great job of driving straight to the hoop by Rodriguez. 4-point game.
Aggressive move, and he finished it with the left. Very impressive.
They had the game tied at 39, did Jordan, but they have not been able to take that lead. Trailed by as many as what, 10, 12 in the third quarter?
There's a dozen.
Palmer drives, floater, no good, and Cook there for the rebound.
Cook's presence alone, though, affected the shot. He made Palmer have to do a little bit more than he would have wanted.
Big opportunity here for Laney. Try to get some space on the scoreboard. Cook puts it on the ground, drives to the hoop, and we're going back the other way. A lot of people in this building feel a lot of different ways about that call, but one way or another, the only opinion that matters is the man wearing stripes. It's the third foul on Cook.
I think that could have gone either way.
Yep. Oh, boy.
Now, we talked about senior leadership. Some missed opportunities here. We had the missed three by Palmer before, could have given them the lead. Now the turnover. All of a sudden, 4, you get a hoop here, possibly a 3-possession game from when you could have had the lead within the last minute.
And I don't think either one of them were necessary. Coming up on 3.5 minutes left. Rodriguez finds some space and scores. Second time in what, 3 or 4 possessions now. Shepard down here on the offensive end scores. Stays at a 4-point game.
Raven Rodriguez, by the way, 6 in the game, all of them coming in the last 5 minutes.
West tipped up by Cook, but Jordan comes out with it. This is Blanton. Jeff finds Shepard. Shepard with a big jump step is fouled. Believe they're going to hit Newton. And here we go.
If you're Laney, you almost feel a little bit snake pit right here. They don't get the call on the other end with Shaq Cook. This way sort of could have gone either way. They don't get it here.
And the 6th foul, by the way. 1 foul from the 1-and-1. Shepard, biggest free throws of his season. Jamar hits the second. 3-point game. No pressure here by Jordan. What do you think, Justin? No full court press there.
It's a 1-possession game right now. You don't want to make a mistake and be too aggressive.
Can't really argue that point. But man, are they getting gouged on the drives of Glenn Rodriguez.
You want to talk about a senior stepping up. Raven Rodriguez right now, 6 points in the quarter. You see him take it to the rack there. This is a kid that wants it, that's taking it upon himself to do it.
Man, they call their third guard. Misses the first free throw. Sometimes I see these young men shooting these free throws, Hanover, and I just want to pull my hair out.
Yeah. It's something that you can work on, which is you can't work on height. You can't work sometimes necessarily on speed. But the one thing anybody could almost do is practice those free throws.
They got to hurry. Oh, my goodness. Couple of very costly turnovers here over the last couple of minutes for Jordan. 4-point game, 2:41 remaining.
We spoke about who will step up, who's going to make the plays. It's been Raven Rodriguez these past few minutes. Jordan's not been able to counter.
Here he is again. Dump down to Cook. Great pass. And he's going to the line.
It looked like Cook was going to have a wide open layup, but actually Marcus Powell rebounded nicely to actually push him out of the position he had but he had to foul him in the end.
I want to remind you folks, while we've got a bit of a break in the action here, our next game tonight will be Brooks County and Buford, the second semifinal in the AA classification for the girls. The winner will move on to the state championship game and face Lovett for the title. And then tonight, our nightcap following that ball game, Manchester and Vidalia. Second free throw, no good. Rebound to Jordan. Pushing. Nearly a steal, nearly a walk, and eventually a timeout.
It's a good timeout call by Coach Turner. He saw there Jamar Shepard was in a lot of trouble, lucky to not even walk with the ball. Sort of triple teamed. It's a good timeout call there. I know you don't have all that many, but that was a right move right there.
At 2:24, 2 timeouts apiece, 5-point game. Let's see, 6 fouls on Laney. That's right, we knew that. 4 on Jordan. And the possession arrow, thank you, Justin, in favor of Laney.
I'll tell you, it's been interesting. We've harped on this a lot, but you look again at Shaq Cook. 16 points in the first quarter. He's only scored 4 points since, 1 field goal. Give the Jordan defense credit.
Yeah.
It's not an accident that they've come back with Cook not being able to score the way he was early on. They've made these adjustments. Gerald Turner's done a good job keeping his team in the game, and now it's their time where they need to win it. He's put him in position after the rough start. Now the players on the floor have to put it through the hoop.
They've got to be smart, and I don't mean to sound like I'm picking on them, but smarter offensively. They've had a couple of possessions that have gone by the wayside due to turnovers.
Yeah.
3, I think, over the last, 3 minutes or so.
I mean, this is crunch time. This is where each possession is magnified.
Just what I was about to say. It's got to start now. Zay Smith. Now Demetrius Daniel back to Zay. It's a 2-man game here.
They can be patient, though. That's okay. You're
right
within 2 possessions. You're down 5. You don't need to rush anything. You need a hoop, though.
Blanton gives off to Shepard. And Shepard, believe he had that shot altered. Huge possession for both teams here. Newton. Harris. They've got their quickness in the ball game here. Right to the rack, and he's fouled. Boy, Rodriguez really taking this in his own hands.
Yeah, you want to talk about a leader. He is not afraid. It's what he's doing off the ball sometimes as well. He's taking it to the hole when he has the ball, but when he's off the ball, he's not afraid to open up and run hard to create space to get the ball. A lot of guys, when it comes down to crunch time, I mean, you hear a lot about LeBron James with the big boys. Obviously the best player in the world, but when it comes to this time, how hard is he running off the ball to demand it? Raven Rodriguez is demanding it right now.
What's he sitting at, 6 points?
He's got 7 right now, all in the quarter.
He's closing in on his points per game average, which is 9. I don't have the exact statistics in front of me, but I can guarantee he's got 6 rebounds today, which would put him at his per game average. Chance for 1 out of 2 at the charity stripe. Thrown ironed it. Lane violation. Yep.
That's a couple of big misses right there. Look, this could have been a 3-possession game with 1.5 minutes to go. 5 and 7's a big difference right now.
1.5. 1.5 left. Boy, they better hurry up and just get it over. 3 ball, they need it. No good, ball loose, big rebound opportunity, pulled away. Palmer gives off to Blanton. No good again. The putback is good. Demetrius Daniel with the quick reflexes to throw that one off the glass and in. 3-point game, 114.
And Jordan's got some shooters in the game. We haven't called Demetrius Daniel's name all that much. You know he's in the game right now because he's got the range. He had the open look, he couldn't hit it. Then Blanton had the look, couldn't hit it. A little bit unlucky, but they did get the 2, and now they're in range. It's 1 possession again.
Okay, you didn't agree with me on the full court press earlier. How about this one? Half court, move them up, if they're able to break your press and get it over half court, then drop back into your zone.
No. You've got to be aggressive right here. There's a minute to play in this game. You're down 3. It's 1 possession, but 3 is a lot more than 2, obviously, in this scenario. So you've got to be aggressive. You've got to go after it. You don't have to foul. Too much time for that.
Right.
But you can't just sag back, and especially when that's not your game. You are an aggressive team by nature.
But, Justin, they've been doing that a bit. Now, I know that people will say, yeah, but Chris, they're back in the ball game, even though they've been doing that. They've been switching back and forth. But they've still been doing that.
But now there's a minute to go.
So now you think they'll go back?
Now you've got to go a little bit more aggressive. You were able to sag back. Things were working. And it's still only 1 possession. So
That's
you
right.
can play devil's advocate. There's plenty of time here. But now you've got to go after the ball. Not necessarily to foul, but now you've got to be aggressive. And we see it right here, how they're lining up.
So maybe at least we'll see this half-court press. We got Cook down here in front of us, the big man. They get it in. And nearly a steal. Oh, a great job. Oh, a tremendous job. That's
Demetrius Daniel.
Yes, it is.
An amazing play to get back. And not only did he get back, but he saved it off.
Right.
And now has possession. That is the play of the game, potentially.
Oh, boy. Somebody come help him. They do get it over. Driving. Dishing. 3 for the tie. No good. Ball's in the air. Rebound. Powell's rejected. 53.9. Marcus Powell got the rebound. Went right back up to the rack, but he was sent away.
And Shaq Cook has not done it on the offensive end for the last 3 quarters, but right there, just a huge block.
This place absolutely buzzing here. Blanton to key it in. The man who hit the game-winning shot in the state quarterfinals. Down by 3, but they don't need a 3-pointer here necessarily. Although we'll probably see them take one. Zay Smith. No good. It's up in the air, and the rebound taken away by Laney. I prefer a 2 there.
I agree with you. He had a look, though. It was a deep look, but he had a look. They just have not been able to hit. Chris, I mean, Jordan's had some opportunities. They've missed 4 or 5 threes in the last 2 or 3 possessions alone.
6th foul.
I don't know if I necessarily foul right away, though. I try and press the ball and get a 10-second violation or steal it.
Absolutely.
That was not what they did right there, though.
Absolutely.
They just went foul.
Still way too much time. 3-point game. 43.5 seconds left. Oh boy, nearly a steal. West. Oh, and they nearly got it there. They're going to hit Blanton instead for the foul. I didn't see it.
There was some contact there. They could have let him play, but I think Blanton did enough. He didn't even react after it. He sort of knew. Good aggressive play. Try for the steal. If you don't get in, it turns into a foul. Not the end of the world.
Now Tommy struggled at the line his last time up. Jamie, pardon me. Jamie West, a senior. Hits.
That's a tough one right there. You feel good about yourself after hitting that first. That's the tough one, the front end.
Well, it was the 1-and-1, by the way, so had he missed that, it would have been a free ball. Failed to mention that, pardon me. 7th foul. 3rd on Blanton. 2nd free throw is good. 5-point Laney lead. Don't necessarily need a 3. They know that. They go in. Cook with a rejection. How fitting is that? Laney's got the possession, and now they're trying to clinch it. Newton passes off to Cook. Showtime finish. Comes flying in for the layup that may clinch the semifinal victory. Jordan pushing ahead. A 3-ball by Blanton. No good. It goes out of bounds, and it's Laney ball. With a 7-point lead and 9 seconds remaining, the Laney Wildcats Well, just 9 seconds away from their 10th straight win.
The Red Jackets had their chances, Chris. They had a lot of opportunities, a lot of threes. They just could not knock them down.
West at the line again. And he hits it. Last year, Laney went 29-2. Lost to Buford in the state semifinals. In 2010, they had another tremendous year the year before. Also lost in the state semifinals. This ball goes out of bounds. Who was the beneficiary of this call? Jordan has possession. They get it in, but nowhere near enough time. For the last 2 years, the Laney Wildcats have been knocked out in the state semifinals here at the Macon Centerplex. But finally, the Wildcats go to the state championship game.
Too much Shaq Cook early on, and then afterwards too much Raven Rodriguez in the end.
22 for Cook, 13 for West. What a ball game. 9 for Powell in a losing effort. Jordan falls to Laney, 52-44 in semifinal number 1 for the AA boys. And you've been watching it right here on the GHSA Network.